$3,791 a month, tax-free. That's what one federal program is already paying family members to care for a loved one at home. Born before 1966 or caring for someone who was, 6 real programs can pay your family thousands of dollars. And stay with me until number 6, the viral $5,000 caregiver law, because what almost everyone believes about it is completely backwards. Number 1, Medicaid will pay you to care for your own parent or spouse, and it's the program most families never even apply for. Every single state runs some version of self-directed care, usually through a home and community-based services waiver, HCBS for short. Here's the mechanic. Instead of Medicaid sending an agency aide into the house, the person receiving care gets a care budget and hires their own caregiver. And in most states, that caregiver can legally be a daughter, a son, and in many programs, even a spouse. Typical pay runs $13 to $21 an hour depending on the state. And in Alaska, California, Massachusetts, and Washington, it averages $24 to $26 an hour. Do the math on 30 approved hours a week at $18 an hour. That's roughly $2,300 a month for care you may already be providing for free. Even in lower-cost states like Missouri and Texas, rates sit around $12 to $18 an hour. Still well over $1,500 a month at full-time levels. Now the mistake that costs families this money. They hear the word Medicaid and think that's nursing homes, or mom makes too much to qualify. Wrong on both counts. HCBS waivers exist precisely to keep seniors out of nursing homes, and waiver income limits are often far more generous than regular Medicaid, with spend-down rules that count medical bills against income. Picture the typical case. A daughter cuts her job to 20 hours a week to care for dad, loses $1,400 a month in wages, and never learns the state would have paid her for those exact caregiving hours. So here's your move. Call your state Medicaid office and say these exact words. I'm asking about self-directed consumer-directed personal care under an HCBS waiver. Using the program's real name gets you routed past the first no. Number 2. If the person you care for ever wore the uniform, the VA runs the single richest caregiver program in the country. It's called the Program of Comprehensive Assistance for Family Caregivers, PCAFC. The monthly stipend runs from $1,896 up to $3,791, depending on the level of care and where the veteran lives, because it's pegged to the federal GS4. Step 1 pay rate $31,103 a year in 2026, with a locality adjustment on top. And that money is tax-free, which means the top tier is worth more than a $55,000 salary before taxes. On top of the stipend, the caregiver gets health insurance, mental health counseling, and 30 days of respite care a year. A full month where the VA pays someone else to step in so you can rest. The mistake that keeps veterans, families away, assuming the program is only for soldiers wounded in recent wars. It covers veterans of every service era. A Vietnam-era veteran born in 1948 can qualify exactly the same as a veteran of Iraq or Afghanistan. The core requirements: a service-connected disability rating of 70% or higher, and a genuine need for help with daily living, bathing, dressing, medication, supervision for memory problems. Families lose this money 2 ways. They never apply because his rating is old, or they describe the veteran as more independent than he really is on the application, out of pride. Don't do that. The assessors pay for what the paperwork shows. Apply at caregiver.va.gov or ask for the Caregiver Support Coordinator. Every VA medical center has one, and the call costs you nothing. Number 3. If dementia is part of your story, listen closely, because the clock on this one just reset. Medicare's Guide Model, Guiding an Improved Dementia Experience, launched July 1, 2024, runs for 8 years and gives families up to $2,500 a year for respite care, an in-home aid, an adult day center, or a short facility stay, so the family caregiver can finally take a break. Here's the timing detail nobody tells you. The respite year runs July 1st through June 30th, and unused dollars do not carry over. That means a fresh $2,500 just became available this month, and any family that didn't use last year's allowance lost it forever. Think about what $2,500 buys. At typical respite rates, that's roughly 2 to 3 weeks of adult daycare, or 100+ hours of in-home relief, paid for by Medicare, not by you. Guide also assigns you a care navigator, a real person whose job is to find local help, meals, transportation, caregiver training. The requirements: a diagnosis of Alzheimer's or another dementia, and original Medicare. And that second part is the mistake that disqualifies the most families. If your loved one is enrolled in a Medicare Advantage plan, PACE, or hospice, they are not eligible for Guide. If dementia care is your daily reality, that fact alone belongs in your October enrollment decision. Your move this week: ask the doctor one direct question. Are you a Guide participant? And if not, who near us is? Participating practices can enroll your family, and the respite money starts counting from enrollment, not from January. Quick reminder: Number 6 is that $5,000 caregiver law your family has probably already been sent on Facebook, and the truth about it is the exact opposite of what the posts say. Stay with me. Number 4, your state may pay you even when Medicaid says no. Some states fund caregiver programs out of their own budgets, specifically to catch families who don't qualify for Medicaid. California's In-Home Supportive Services, IHSS, is the largest, paying around $18.50 an hour. New York's CDPAP runs roughly $16 to $23 an hour, and the person receiving care chooses who gets hired, including most family members. Similar state-funded or hybrid programs exist across the country, and eligibility rules are different from Medicaid's, which is exactly why a Medicaid denial means nothing here. Then there's the second state layer almost nobody claims: state caregiver tax credits. A growing list of states now pays family caregivers back at tax time for out-of-pocket caregiving costs, things like grab bars, wheelchair ramps, medical supplies, and hired help. That's real money for receipts you're probably already generating, and caregivers spend serious sums out of pocket every year, which is exactly why these credits were written into state law. The typical error: a family applies once, gets one denial letter from one program, and concludes, "We don't qualify for anything." Programs stack. A family can combine a state program, a tax credit, and the respite benefit from number 3 in the same year. What to do? Search your state's name plus Paid Family Caregiver Program and go only to the .gov results. Then call your local area agency on aging and ask one precise question: which state-funded, not Medicaid, caregiver payment programs serve this county? That distinction matters because frontline staff default to Medicaid answers, and if Medicaid is a dead end for you, you need the list they don't volunteer. Number 5. Your parent can legally pay you themselves, but only if you do the paperwork first, and skipping it is a 5-figure mistake. The tool is called a Personal Care Agreement, a written contract that spells out your duties, your weekly hours, and a fair market rate, the same $18 to $25 an hour an agency would charge in your area. Why does a piece of paper matter so much? Because of Medicaid's 5-year lookback. If mom simply hands you $800 a month in cash for 3 years of faithful care, and then one fall puts her in a nursing home, Medicaid reviews 5 years of bank records and treats every one of those payments, $28, $800, as gifts. Gifts trigger a penalty period. Months of nursing home care the family must pay out of pocket before Medicaid starts. With a signed agreement dated before the payments began, the very same money counts as legitimate pay for services. No gift, no penalty. The agreement also keeps peace in the family. Siblings argue far less when the hours and the pay are in writing, and it creates a clean record for taxes because yes, that income should be reported. The mistake pattern is always the same. We're family. We don't need contracts until the Medicaid application or the estate fight says otherwise. Your move: have an elder law attorney draft the agreement. It's a one-time document, and many attorneys offer a free first consultation. If money is tight, start with your area agency on aging and ask for low-cost legal aid for seniors. One afternoon of paperwork protects years of payments. Number 6. The new caregiver law itself, and here's what most people get completely backwards. The $5,000 federal caregiver payment being shared all over Facebook does not exist. There is a real bill behind the rumor, the Credit for Caring Act, reintroduced in Congress on March 11, 2025, with bipartisan sponsors. If it passes, It would create a federal tax credit of up to $5,000, covering 30% of caregiving expenses above $2,000, with income caps of $125,000 for single filers and $200,000 for joint filers. But as of July 2026, it has not passed. It is a proposal. Nobody can file for it, nobody can register early, and no agency is mailing caregiver checks. And that's exactly where the money leaks. Scammers run ads offering to enroll you in the new caregiver benefit for a processing fee, or to help you file if you'll just confirm your social security number. Every dollar and every digit you hand them is gone. Here's the backwards part. While families wait for a law that doesn't exist, they walk right past the 5 real programs you just heard. Programs that can pay more per month than the phantom credit would pay per year. The rule that protects you costs nothing. Real government benefits never charge an application fee, ever. And any new law can be verified at congress.gov in 30 seconds. Type the bill's name, read the status line. So the truth is the opposite of the headline. No new law is coming to find you, but thousands of dollars in existing programs are already waiting, and they only pay the families who ask. Your one action step this week: call the Elder Care Locator at 1-800-677-1116. It's free, run by the U.S. Administration on Aging, and ask which caregiver payment programs serve your county. If this video helped you, subscribe for weekly money alerts and share it with one family caregiver. They may be owed thousands.